Either we are there or not, ITSP Magazine still gets the best stories. There are plenty of conferences and all sorts of events that spark our curiosity and allow us to start conversations with some of the world's brightest minds. In person or virtually, we sit down with them at the intersection of technology, cybersecurity, and society. Together, we discover what the synergy of these three elements means for the future of humanity. Knowledge is power, now more than ever. CrowdSec, the collaborative and open source cybersecurity solution. Analyze behaviors, respond to attacks, and share signals across the community for free. Let's make the internet safer together. Learn more at crowdsec.net.
EdgeScan offers continuous vulnerability intelligence as a service, accurately identifying vulnerabilities and exposures across the full stack. All threats are verified by cybersecurity experts, providing exploitable risk and remediation guidance, virtually false positive free. Learn more at edgescan.com.
Pantera, the leader in automation security validation, allows organizations to continuously test the integrity of all cybersecurity layers by emulating real-world attacks at scale to pinpoint the exploitable vulnerabilities and prioritize remediation towards business impact. Learn more at www.pantera.io.
Marco.
Sean.
Start the propellers.
Yep, I got it. I have to kick it. And start.
Kick it. I don't even
start.
Clearly, I'm not a pilot. I don't even know how you start the propellers. Start the engines. That's a car reference.
Yes. Fine. Start the engine. I don't know how you push.
Stand in front of the jet engine, Marco.
Can you push a satellite into atmosphere? I don't know that.
You can.
Yeah.
You have to start the propeller.
If you're Superman. If you're Superman. So, okay, we're rambling already, but
we are.
Here's the point. When we drive and we're going or we fly somewhere, what you do, you chat. You chat about what to expect. Once you get there, you're like, what's going to be exciting about it? So that's why Sean and I do these chats on the road or in the air or in the sea. I don't know, depending. We're going somewhere. And of course, where we're going at this point, we've done a few of these. We're going to Las Vegas, Sean. Are you excited?
I am excited for the chats on the sea to hacker summer camp in Las Vegas. I don't know how that's going to happen. Funny enough,
this is low gravity.
Normally, we both drive from LA to Las Vegas, which would be a chats on the road. For traveling this time, it would have to be in the air. So it would be chats on the road or chats on the air. We're being stupid. Let's introduce our guest, Kaylin.
She's probably like, why did I say yes?
Can we start again, please? That's right.
Nope.
Kaylin Trychon from the Aerospace Village is going to give us a view into all the cool, fun things going on in the village. We've been there, Marco. It's pretty dang cool, and we've become really good friends with a lot of the village organizers and participants. And I don't know, I'm always thrilled to have this team on. So Kaylin, thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me. And we are at the Aerospace Village are big fans of you all as well and love the show and are so excited to be back. This year, DEF CON 30, the Aerospace Village is going to be out in full force, all in person. We have an amazing talk track. Some folks that are friends of the village that have spoken before. We have a host of new voices to hear from. We have some really interesting keynotes. The United CISO will be joining Steve, our board chair, for a discussion. And I just think there's going to be a lot of really helpful community building, which is the name of the game for us at the Aerospace Village. We want to bring folks together with different perspectives, not just the hackers, but also the folks that are working on building these systems from the ground up, what they're seeing every day, whether it be, a pilot or an air traffic controller or somebody managing a satellite. we want to bring those different perspectives and voices together because we realize that security is touching all of these different components. And sometimes that picture is really diverse. And so not everyone is always used to communicating. And so being able to bring folks together, especially at a place like DEF CON, is really exciting for us. In addition to the great talks and learnings, we're also going to be having some really amazing challenges, demonstrations. We have Hackasat back. They're bringing some really unique challenges. They have the PySat challenge that's going to be happening, and then also a little look at Hackasat 3, the final competition. And then in addition to that, we're going to have our friends, Pentest partners, that are bringing the A320 simulator. This is an immersive simulator. You can take, an experience and really see what it's like to spoof a sim and what pilots would be dealing with if that happened. I think there's a lot of stuff for all walks of life. You don't have to be an expert in the field of aerospace to really learn something or enjoy your time in the village this year.
Yeah, and I've seen a post by our friend Mr. Monroe about the simulator I think it was on Twitter that I saw that. So it looks pretty dang cool.
Lots of cool imagery on Twitter. Yeah. I would definitely check it out to get familiar before you head over.
Yes. So let's take one step back, a view of the past, because it wasn't always aerospace, right? Which includes satellites and other fun things. It was primarily focused on air traffic, airplanes, if I'm not mistaken. Can you give our audience a view of kind of the transformation that you've done over the past few years, and with that, maybe what the new goals and objectives are with the village?
Yeah, so the first year the village was at DEF CON, it was the aviation village. It was primarily focused on, as you said, aviation, airplanes, air traffic control, pilots. It's actually how I got involved in the village. I was not involved when it was the aviation village. I was an attendee, a visitor, and I happened to, I was interested in aerospace. I come from an Air Force family. My father is a pilot. He flies a Mooney. And I ended up meeting Steve, who is our board chair Spanky, as most people know him as. And it turned out by happenstance that he flew fighters with my uncle in the Air Force back in the day. And so we had this instant connection, and I was like, if you ever need any help, I'd love to, volunteer and join the village and do what I can. And lo and behold, he reaches out to me after DEF CON. He's like, we're going to change to the Aerospace Village. And I was like, okay, well, my background is in communications and branding. And I was like, I would love to help with this, or especially in the security space. And so we turned it around into the Aerospace Village. And then unfortunately, that was the first year we were going to have Hackasat. And it was just, we were really, really excited. And COVID-19 happened, and it kind of, turned all of our plans upside down. But one of the, I think, most incredible things that happened as a result of that was we were able to go virtual. And what that does is it breaks down a lot of the barriers to entry sometimes that you get in going to DEF CON, because not everybody can fly out to Vegas. And we're a global village. We have a lot of partners and folks from around the world, and not everybody can, go to Vegas in August. Not everybody wants to go to Vegas in August with the heat. And so I think that first year of the Aerospace Village, being able to break down those barriers and have a virtual experience helped us reach that broad set of audience. And it let us, have talks from folks in different parts of the world, because we were pre-recording them. We were getting all of, the materials together. And so we evolved, but in that evolution, I think we learned a little bit about ourselves too. What are people interested in? What's their focus on? Also, it was incredible to watch the Hackasat team make that pivot and have such an engaging first round. And as we can see, as they go into the finals of 3, like that engagement is still really high. People love that competition. It's been super fun to watch it grow. But what we've found is, and I think, it's a testament to what's happening in the news today, is that aerospace was the right pivot. That's the right village that we need, because it's not just aviation. Aviation is a component, but satellites. I mean, we've just seen with the, war in Ukraine, there was a satellite attack. Like, that is a very tangible thing to point to. And so by being able to bring those conversations together, uncover that education, and hopefully drive solutions is really where we've evolved to. I think it's been really fun to watch the different walks of life come into the village that want to volunteer. We have a ton of folks that have extensive, long careers in cybersecurity, but on the same token, we have a ton of folks that have extensive careers flying planes, working on satellites, working at contractors that are like building these things and have seen firsthand how the software is developed or how systems have evolved over time. And so I've been a part of some really interesting conversations, and I've watched those connections and bridges form, so I can speak firsthand at it working, like what the villages are meant to do. This one is definitely living out that promise.
I love it. And I know we hit the opportunity to chat, I think, with Logan Finch and Jason Williams from the Hackasat crew. So I'm excited for that one as well. So people should stay tuned for that once we record it. But I have to ask this question, because certainly you go to engage with folks and learn things, but I go for the badge. And I have to say, I don't know if you were behind the airplane badge.
I was not behind the airplane badge. I do have one. All right. And I love it. And I'm a badge life person as well.
So there are two badges that I love and cherish: the aerospace airplane badge and the car hacking wrench badge. Those are my two favorites, I have to say. And it's so super special. What's going on with the badge this year?
So Dan Allen, the mastermind and the genius behind the badge, I actually got to solder a few and put them together this year. My first time ever soldering. It was very fun. It's kind of a combination of everything that Aerospace Village stands for. It is really unique. The design is absolutely beautiful. I suggest everybody head over to our Twitter right now because we have been sharing it widely. We also have add-ons for the badge. We have a rocket ship. We have a remove before flight tag. It's really exciting. It's beautiful. And I think so far the response has been overwhelmingly, how do I get my hands on one of these? And I will tell you this, we have a limited number. We will be kind of saving a certain number for each day of DEF CON, but it is first come, first serve. So if you are loving the badge as much as I am, I would say hurry up, get over to the village and pick one up.
So nice. I'll tell you what moves Sean. It's badges.
Yes.
Food,
definitely.
And stickers. You want to attract them, just like wave a sticker.
On there.
Any of those will go.
Our interests align, Sean.
Perfect.
There you go. All right. I'm going to bring it a little bit more above this, a little bit higher up. Not it's not interesting or important, but so the village. I have food, this. Right? The last time that we were there, now there's no food. I remember that the Aerospace Village, and at the time, Aeronautic Village, it was in the same big room with a car hacking. It was in the same big room with many other villages. And it was kind of like this family. And so my personal theme this year, talking to all the villages, and we'll do it during the stream live, teaser coming up later, is the fact that all these villages, in a way or another, they are connected. Right? I mean, they're integrating one with the other. ICS and Maritime became one and all work together for the higher interest. So the village in reality is a big village with many smaller village. And the goal, right, for the people that come for the first time there, or they were like, why are you guys doing these villages? What's the point? Is it just for the fun? Is it just for the badge? It's just for the show what you can do it? I mean, the true value of a village with your words.
The true value of the villages for me is community building and building perspective. I think that you're right. All of these things are interconnected, and the thing that interconnects them is security, cybersecurity. You don't want people hacking into your systems, but all of the systems are a little bit different. They have different components. There are different challenges that you're trying to solve, but fundamentally that thread kind of weaves through. But for me, I remember one of my first experiences at DEF CON, I went and I checked out all of the villages, and I ended up going to the lockpick village. And I was like, why is this here? And, actually learning how to pick locks and thinking through that, it opened up, and I was watching people kind of have things click for themselves of, oh, I could apply this kind of like mental model thinking to what I'm doing in this space. So for me, I think the beauty of the villages is that, yes, they all have a common theme of we're trying to, prevent the hacking of X, but it's really building bridges and changing your perspective. How does that perspective change in a different village? And you might say, actually, I think I could bring that back to this other village, or, oh, I'm seeing a common theme here. I wonder how closely linked these problems are to one another. And so for me, community building is number one, but also that unique perspective that each village has and brings to DEF CON, I think is one of the beauties. And it's why the village process is so thoughtful. You can't just decide one day, oh, I'm going to start a village on X. It's something that you put together a proposal. It gets talked about, you build that community to see that it is actually there and there are problems to solve. And I really value that. So that's my take on the villages.
No, I appreciate that. Everybody has his own, but I think you did summarize really well what the goal is. And I would add something that I heard from Steve, from Spanky a few times, which is, of course, the goal is to put together also the business community, the public, the government entity, and really work together with a common goal in mind, which is probably as important as the community, because it is the community in the end.
Just to that point, I think it's a really, really good one. I think that's the sense of community. I think DEF CON over the years too has evolved into the types of folks that are going, which I know you're always going to have your traditionalists, but I think it has been such an amazing evolution and a really positive one for society and securing society. And so Spanky, I would 100% agree, watching those different entities come together is also very important for us.
So let's talk about what people get to hear and see and do. So I know you mentioned a few things in the beginning, but do you have any speakers lined up or panels lined up? What's going on?
So we have, our talk track goes from Friday to Saturday. We have a ton of speakers. We have James Parver, who has spoke at the Aerospace Village before. His talks are always a hit. Again, like I said, we do have Deneen DiFiore coming, who is the CISO for United Airlines. She's going to be doing a fireside chat with Spanky. That is sure to be great. I got a little sneak preview of the questions, so I know that it's going to be a really engaging discussion. And then we also have, I believe Spanky is doing another fireside chat. I believe it's with an airport CISO. We have Pentest Partners speaking, Ken Monroe, who has been a huge supporter of the village, and he always gives a really great talk. Just a host of different talks, everything from hunting for 0 days on space aircrafts to, threats against aviation systems. So we really run the gamut of not just having, aerospace aviation focused talks, but a lot of space, a lot of satellites. And I think it's a really well-rounded agenda this year.
Very cool. So I think in a way we have a call to action, little piece from Sean, from you, of course. We quote Spanky and all the other people. I mean, we keep talking about him because we interact with him. But look, another thing I have to say is that I know there is a ton of people excited to honestly be back, because to experience, there are some villages that can do very, very well online, digitally, virtually. And all of you have done incredible job during the pandemic in doing so. But there are some that really you need to, if you can, get to Vegas. If you get, and I have to say the Aerospace Village is one of those. That and the car hacking, the ICS. I mean, you really need to, even the IoT. I mean, you just get to play with stuff. So I would like to invite everybody to do so. Go there if you're going to Vegas. If you're not, we Sean, we will connect. We will stream live with many of the villages. Some are going to show us around. Some are going to have some guests. Some will just touch base with us in, I don't know, sometimes going to be even outside of the village itself. So we will do the streaming for everyone.
We're going to stream live from a drone through a satellite. That's how it's going to work this year.
I hope that connection is secure.
and some API and some mobile phones, and who knows what's going to go wrong with that. But, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
I'd like
still
to use
an experiment.
Web3 to do this as well. We'll push it over blockchain too. Why not?
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your time. We are excited to keep this relationship with you guys. We had incredible conversation with people from NASA. Thank you for connecting always this conversation and facilitating this. So,
and to that point, Marco, maybe before we wrap, because we hear from many villages, Kaylin, that it isn't just this one time, right? So clearly, we had some time with Steve at RSA conference, live from his village, the Aerospace Village there. Clearly here at DEF CON in Las Vegas. But what's the opportunity to connect with the team throughout the year?
So we still have, and I think one of the benefits of that first year virtual at DEF CON is the Discord channel that was started for the Aerospace Village. It is a great place to constantly engage with folks that are involved in the village, ask questions, share. There's a lot of engagement that still happens there. Also, if you have specific questions or, looking for answers to things, our Twitter is really active. We're happy to connect you and put you in with the right folks. And then also all of the content from the past years is up on the Aerospace Village YouTube channel. And it is really still valuable information. There's a lot of really interesting talks that are happening there. And I would say to pop over there if you can't make it this year and at least get some good content. Yeah.
And I'm looking at right now on Twitter, the badge, and I am like salivating. Yeah, I'm not as big as Sean on badge, but I'm really big fan of space. So for me, this, the space shuttle and everything, it's beautiful. It's killing it. Yeah, I've seen the one that illuminated.
So you know what's going to happen now, Marco? Is we're going to have to hold publishing this until we order our badges, because once people hear this, it's going to be sold out. We're kind of screwed. So
I know.
We're going to have to order our badge before we publish this.
How can we get it? Where do we go? We go to the website?
So we are offering them for donations to the village in person at DEF CON. We're not offering online purchase this year. But with that being said, Marco and Sean, we might be able to help out a couple friends of the village.
Look at that.
I will be so honored with that. But
yes, donation coming.
Oh, absolutely. For sure. Yeah. For sure. Well, that's it for now.
I know. Let's everybody travel safe to Las Vegas. Stay safe.
Stay hydrated.
Hydrated in the villages, and make lots of new friends. There's so many cool people in all the villages, Aerospace included. Kaylin, absolute pleasure chatting with you today. Keep up the good work and all that you're doing, getting the word out and making the Aerospace Village so exciting and fun. And everybody on the team that helps you in that endeavor. And for everybody listening, there'll be links to the Aerospace Village website, social media handles, Discord, all that fun stuff. The schedule for DEF CON will be there as well for the village. So stay tuned for that and everything else we're doing for our chats on the road to Hacker Summer Camp 2022.
Pantera, the leader in automation security validation, allows organizations to continuously test the integrity of all cybersecurity layers by emulating real-world attacks at scale to pinpoint the exploitable vulnerabilities and prioritize remediation towards business impact. Learn more at www.pantera.io.
EdgeScan offers continuous vulnerability intelligence as a service, accurately identifying vulnerabilities and exposures across the full stack. All threats are verified by cybersecurity experts, providing exploitable risk and remediation guidance, virtually false positive free. Learn more at edgescan.com.
CrowdSec, the collaborative and open source cybersecurity solution. Analyze behaviors, respond to attacks, and share signals across the community for free. Let's make the internet safer together. Learn more at crowdsec.net. We hope you enjoyed this episode of our on-location conversation. If you learned something new and this podcast made you think, then share itspmagazine.com with your friends, family, and colleagues. If you represent a company and wish to associate your brand with our conversations, sponsor one or more of our podcast channels. We hope you will come back for more stories and follow us on our journey. You can always find us at the intersection of technology, cybersecurity, and society.